Hey everyone, crazy day today. Just want to make a quick video looking at some open positions of mine. I have Blink. We'll start off here. So yesterday was a very strong day. We popped up at the open and pretty much increased higher all throughout the day and chopped around, closed at the highs. I thought we'd see a gap up today given the strength into the end of the day yesterday. We actually gapped down as the whole market, but the VWAP kind of held here all day, broke through, but then it kind of came back, broke through, and kind of held as support the rest of the day. Nice little, we're down $2 here, but on the grand scheme of things here, we're closing above the 2 days in a row, or 3 days in a row. Finding resistance at these moving averages as I expected. 21 we broke through and closed above it. The 34 we kind of got pushed back behind that. But right now it's nice. It's consolidating. We broke this downtrend a few days ago. Now we're kind of riding this uptrend here. It looks like. So. Also, the Fibonacci retracement of 50% is right at this level here at 45. So maybe we could touch that level next week. We might hit some more resistance, and also back here we kind of acted as a little resistance. So maybe we could break through that, or we chop around a little bit. We do have earnings coming up. Momentum's still turning bullish. We have a ready aim fire back here a couple days ago, and sure enough, it took off a little bit. This is still trending in the right direction. RSI is, still kind of low, but see what happens. They're getting a little oversold on the stochastic, or overbought on the stochastic. So maybe we chop around for a couple days. As long as we hold the 80 MA, I think we'll be in good shape here. That should act as support. Hopefully, we break these EMAs, and then we should probably see retest of the 45 at least, and then up to the 50 probably. Depending how the overall market is. They had some news yesterday too, where they had one another project, 144 fast charging stations with the state of Ohio. So that's good news. That kind of helped propel this a little bit yesterday. Some short interest covering, I assume, just because it's about 30% short interest. All the people that shorted down here are likely covering here because they thought it would go lower and it didn't, so they're trying to get out of their position, or maybe they're adding the shorts up here. But if the market keeps continuing higher, then they'll have to keep accumulating at higher prices. We'll see what happens. FUBO. So FUBO, like other tickers, had a strong move yesterday. It's about time because it was kind of lagging for a couple of days. It kind of hit resistance at this 100 EMA for a couple of days, actually 4 days in a row. Couldn't break through. Finally yesterday it broke through. Ultimately gapped down with the rest of the stocks today and kind of traded similar to the overall market, and even Blink really, and held at the VWAP at the end of the day there. Momo's turning positive. We did have a little bit of divergence, or positive divergence. We have a low here and a low here. You see how this low is a little bit higher. Same thing here in the stochastic. This low is a little bit higher than right here. So that's telling me that maybe it's getting ready for a turnaround. And we got a actually ready and fire signal too yesterday. So maybe next week we retest these retest the 21 EMA at some point. I think it's at what, 35.72. I'm expecting some resistance there too, because there's a bunch of moving averages we have to get through. We have to get through the 50, 21, 34. Hopefully this 100-day holds as support, along with the 8, and then we can move higher. As far as longer term targets, we could take we'll take this high here. So we'll bring it down to that low. So 50% retracement on the Fibonacci would put us right about 43, kind of right where that little pop was before earnings. So we have a ways to go to get back up there. A lot of resistance here. And get rid of that. That's actually where I got in at, unfortunately, my average cost. So I'm trying to work my way up there. I sold some calls for next week's expiration to kind of, take some of the risk off there, and recap some cash that I put in. If the strikes are in the money, I'll probably roll it to the next week and roll it out. Keep rolling it out until I get to a point where I feel comfortable. They have earnings over here, so we'll see how that goes in the coming weeks. Hopefully it could hold up. Maybe we'll get some strength into next week. Overall, I'm looking for these candles to turn to yellow too. That'll give me a better indication that momentum is kind of turning the other way. Next, we're going to look at PLTR. I did sell this one yesterday on this pop-up here. I did have a little bit too much exposure than I wanted to in this kind of market. So what I did was, I sold it on this low pop around 26.40. Yeah, it held all day, made a new high today, but I felt comfortable, 14% gain. Overall, in the grand scheme of things, it is hitting resistance at these levels, 34, 50, and 21 EMA, similar to a lot of other tickers. Closed above the 80 EMA and the 100 EMA. Hopefully they act as support going forward, but this 23 line right here is where all the buyers are coming in around this level, and that's I bought a little bit on the dip, had an average of like a little under 23. I took a $3 gate on my shares, momentum coming up. Ready fire single back here, but it's still moving in the right direction. Getting a little overbought here. Maybe we chop around a little bit before decides which way it wants to go. As far as targets, let's try to not that one. Let's do that. Take this high here, bring it down. So 50% retracement will put us back at 32 from this swing low. So we got a little ways to go. But there's no resistance up at there. Once we break through these resistance levels right there, there's nothing really holding us back to get up to that 32 level. If we do come back and touch the 100 EMA, I'll probably reload, get back in and see what happens. But I think we're going to chop around for a little bit. MRVL, another one I am in. I like this one a lot. I bought back in here and then I added down at the dip here at the 200-day EMA after earnings, and it had pretty good strength with the overall Nasdaq last couple of days. Kind of came back up from 37, already up at 47, so a nice little run up here. Broke above the 80 EMA, holding it, now finding resistance at these other levels. Expect to chop a little bit. Momentum turning positive, no squeezes right here. But overall, looking good. I sold some calls for next week just because I think it might pull back to the 8 EMA. I have a long-term shares in this account, my account for that. Some new positions that I'm looking at. Today I hopped in ASO, has a bit of a short interest. Structure's hot. Look at the structure holding up even despite all the pullbacks in the market. You got all the EMA stacked. We have a nice squeeze here. Neutral and RI stochastics, neutral here as well, earnings coming up. This looks pretty good. If we break 26 next week, we could probably retest 28, maybe higher with the short interest, the short trying to cover. But that's something I'm looking at. I didn't like to get in at the high over here. I was going to wait till the 80 EMA or to the 21 EMA because that's where it seems to be holding resistance and closing above. An even better spot would be to buy it at the 34, which if it dips, I may buy some shares here. I bought a vertical for 25.30 vertical for the April monthly expiration. Give me some time on that. DKNG, I missed this one unfortunately, looking great. If this thing pulls back to the 50 or the 21 even, I'm going to start a position here for a longer term kind of swing. I like this one a lot. Structure is good despite the overall market had the big dump, but it recovered nicely. It's kind of riding this trend line too a little bit, so we'll see how that goes over the next couple weeks. We got some pre-squeezes here, a lot of volume coming in, pushing up. That's good. Getting oversold, so when this pulls back a little bit, maybe I'm gonna hop in. WDC just hit my scanner the other day. We have a 3-dot squeeze. We got EMA stacked, very bullish. Sold off with the market the other day, but pretty much held at 34, recovered nicely, recovered from 61, $71, $10 recovery, pretty nice. So it held that 34 EMA. Let's see, I'm waiting for these candles to turn yellow, maybe another squeeze dot or two, maybe some little more bullish activity down here, a little more oversold. We'll be watching this one, but over the next couple of weeks, I might be looking to hop into that. And I think that is all. And skills I was looking into as well. SKLZ, sorry. So this one's looking good. We had the big sell-off similar to looks like PLTR where it came down, found support at 100 a day. Now it's finding a little resistance here. We have some momentum turning. We have Ready and Fire, which fired yesterday. I believe there's high short interest in this as well. Let's see if we could catch a bid next week and maybe, let's see, a little swing high, swing low. So Fibonacci retracement will put you back at $35. So we'll see if we can get through these resistance of these other EMAs and close, maybe chop around a little bit. But ultimately, there's no squeeze yet. May start a position in shares given the stock's under 30. A lot of volume here the last couple of days. Good earnings report. Looks like things are turning around on the chart. A little bit of divergence here. You see the lower lows here. See the price is making lower lows, but you have the stochastic making higher lows. So you got a low here and then a higher low here. So, keep an eye on that. But that's pretty much what I got going right now. Just a comment on that SPY and actually ES really, because I've been watching this for a while. So as I was saying a few weeks ago, if you watch my videos, I was thinking, maybe back this around here, we hit the 4,000 fall over. We never made it. We hit about 94, 394 here and then rolled over, came back pretty low, had a strong recovery. Now we're kind of hitting resistance at that same level, at the 394 level. I'm thinking next week if we could get some strength, we have a nice squeeze here. We have some momentum going. This is a slingshot squeeze. This could pack a punch. Especially we're retesting this level multiple times. I'm expecting a test of 4,000 next week. Could be a blow off top, or we could hit it and roll over. But definitely looking at 4,000 for a target on the S&P next week. Once that hits 4,000, I may look to put some additional shorts on in case it rolls over after it makes that new high. But everyone have a good weekend. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to discuss. Take care.